Are you worried about inflation or the high cost of groceries that are currently going on right now? Or maybe you're worried about another 4 years of having this guy as our president. I know, very scary thought. Maybe you're afraid about the supply chain issues that we had during the pandemic, where we couldn't get toilet paper or basic things were hard to find. Maybe you're afraid that how fragile our economy is, it could just go under. How fragile our utility system is. You know, we take for granted that there's going to be water when we turn on the faucet, or electricity when we need it. But all these things are getting outdated or run down, and they're not really maintaining it well. Not only that, we're relying upon someone else to provide all those things, which is scary in and of itself. That we as a people are going away from becoming self-sufficient and more reliant upon others to provide our basic needs. All this is very scary, or can be very scary. For my wife and I, during the pandemic, we were very concerned about how fragile the supply chain was and how little we actually made, and it started making us think, okay, we need to save money, and we need to become more self-sufficient. So how can we do those things? Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss just a couple plants that you could potentially grow in a small area that are massive producers, cost very little, and potentially can provide for you food year after year after year. Now, the first plant I'm going to discuss is tomatoes. Tomatoes are used for a variety of things, from pizza sauce, tomato paste, marinara, tomato sandwich. They're very versatile fruit. This all started when we went to the grocery store this month, January of 2024. And when we looked at some of the prices on this produce, it was eye-shocking. It was eye-opening and scary at the same time. I mean, they had Roma tomatoes for $1.29 a pound. They had beefsteak tomatoes for $1.69 a pound. They had what they called an heirloom tomato for $3.99 a pound. That is outrageously expensive. Not only that, when you think of the cost of buying a pack of seeds, or even going to a local nursery and buying, a set of plants, or even one little tomato plant, that one tomato plant can produce a lot more fruit than what you would buy at the grocery store for the same amount of money. For instance, Roma tomatoes, which are good for pasta sauces and things of that sort. Roma tomatoes will potentially grow between 100 and 200 Roma tomatoes on one plant. That is a lot, and they don't take up a huge amount of space. Now, they are determinate tomatoes, so they'll produce all their fruit, and then once they're done, they're done. Now, think of that. 100, go for the small amount, 100 Roma tomatoes on a single plant. That's the potential. How much in pounds would that be? Probably between 15 and 20 pounds. Now, $1.29, that's 20 some dollars right there. A packet of seed costs a lot less. So if you can plant it directly in the ground, one single plant, that will grow a lot more tomatoes than what you normally buy at the store. Now, on top of that, you can potentially seed save. So that one pack of seeds, or that one plant that you buy at the nursery, can provide you plants year after year after year. So that one initial investment basically will keep giving as long as you keep saving your seeds and keep growing the same plant. That is a great skill to have. Not only that, let's take a look at the beefsteak. Beefsteak, or a much larger tomato, they produce less fruit as far as volume, but they're bigger and they provide between 15 and 20 pounds of fruit per plant. That's a lot of tomatoes on one plant. Now think of it as $1.69, and if you get 20 pounds of tomatoes off that one plant, that's $30, a little bit more than $30. A pack of seeds will cost anywhere between $3 and $6, depending on how reputable the company is and whether it's a good quality seed or not. Now, $6 compared to 30 some dollars, it might not seem like that much, but it adds up. Not only that, but that one plant, as long as you save the seeds, will continue to produce for you year after year after year, because you can replant. Now, another small vegetable that can be valuable to grow and can be grown in a very small area, a 2x2 area, or even a 5-gallon bucket if you live in the city or you don't have a large plot of land. These first two can be grown indoors, potentially in the city, as long as you have a grow light or a good window that has sunlight. The initial investment might be a little bit more because you'll have to buy a pot and some soil, but you can still grow it for much cheaper than what you would buy at the grocery store. Now, not only that, but growing your own fruits and vegetables, you will be able to control how it's grown. You can control what's sprayed or what's not. Potentially no pesticides could be sprayed on it, or no chemicals or anything that could potentially be harmful for you. I love knowing that. I also love knowing that when I grow tomato or fruits or vegetables, they're going to have a much higher nutritional content than what the ones I buy at the store, because I'm not depleting the soil. I'm actually adding soil, or I'm adding amendments to the soil, which give those nutritional values that the fruit grows on much higher. So growing your own fruits and vegetables is both financially more beneficial, you save money, and you get more nutritional value from that single plant. Now, another good plant that you might want to consider growing is bell pepper. Bell pepper plants just need a small area. A 2x2 area can grow a bell pepper plant. Now, when we went to the grocery store this month, we just looked at the cost of the bell peppers. For one single green bell pepper, it was 99 cents. For a yellow or a red, it was almost $1.50 for that. Now, my wife and I grew several bell pepper plants this year, which produced a massive amount of bell peppers. In fact, we probably had half a freezer full, potentially, of just bell peppers. I love cooking with bell peppers, so that's something that I grow a lot of. Now, one single bell pepper plant can produce 10 to 20 bell peppers or more. Bell pepper plants are indeterminate, meaning that they will continue to produce until a frost or something kills them. So that is a great asset for that particular plant. You can get a lot of yield for a very small amount of space and money. Plus, if you seed save, again, that one initial investment will keep producing and producing for you year after year. So that one upfront cost can give you a lifetime, potentially, of fruits and vegetables. Now, the last one that I'm going to discuss takes up a little bit bigger area. Probably a little bit more difficult to grow inside. It's possible, but I wouldn't recommend it. But for yield versus the cost and maintenance of it, it is a great plant to grow. Either yellow squash or zucchini will produce a lot of vegetables and provide you with an influx of squash or zucchini. Now the good thing about squash and zucchini, at least if you are in zone 7, you could potentially have 2 crops. If you plant early enough in spring, you'll have 1 crop of zucchini or yellow squash, and then you can grow another one about midsummer, and before it frosts you can get another run of zucchini or yellow squash. I know that my wife and I grew 3 plants. I think we had 2 yellow squash and 1 zucchini plant last year. We were actually picking so many squash and zucchini, we didn't have enough space or the ability to deal with them. We actually had to give them several away to our family and friends because our freezer was full, our freeze dryer was full, and we were running out of our ears with squash and zucchini. That's a great thing to have. And again, you can save the seeds on those plants, and year after year after year, that plant, that one initial investment for a couple bucks will produce you potentially a lifetime of squash or zucchini. Now, these 3 plants can be grown indoors or in small areas, and even if you don't have a lot of land, you can still grow these plants and produce a lot. Now, one thing also to look at is this is both for if you have no land and live in the city, or if you have a massive homestead with a lot of land that you can grow a lot of crops on. The more you grow, the more you save. But for 1 single plant, you can still save a lot of money. If you have 2, you're saving double. That is a great return on investment. And I encourage you to start growing your own food as much as you can. Even if you just have 1 little spot or maybe a 2-foot area, you can grow a tomato or a bell pepper. And that one thing can teach you a lot on how to have a garden so that if you ever do get more space, you can grow more. But also teaches you those skills that are needed in today's lifestyle that were taken for granted years and years ago because it was just common knowledge. One of the things that our homestead and our YouTube channel is about is trying to teach others how to grow and how to become more self-sufficient. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.